Alrighty, so the moon is in Libra. I haven't done the horoscopes yet. I might work on them a little bit, but I was giving a seminar this morning, and because my Christmas plans got kerfuffled, I ended up having to work way too late and get way too little sleep. Thus is the life of an astrologer. So the moon is in Libra right now. There might be some tension building because she's making some tense aspects to other planets that might be boosting you. So if you're feeling some anxiety, that's kind of normal for what's going on right now. Good thing to do is take deep breaths and ground. Hey, how are you doing? Marquise Geek. I like that. Geeks are the best. Me too. That's how you know. Astrologers are real astrologers are actually geeks. So we're into math and computers and video games, and some of us anyway. So, how you doing? You're feeling tired last 2 days? Yeah, well, we've had the Saturn-Uranus square. That's going to bring the energy down. So it's still square, and it brings the energy down. It might be triggering off different emotions. Some people might be feeling a little depressed. Some people might be feeling kind of anxious. Just depends on you and your chart. Some people might just be kind of chill. It depends on where you're at in your journey. So for me, I'm tired. I'm physically tired because I've been physically working a lot. But it's been so worth it. There were over 100 people signed up for the seminar. Over 80 made it. That was pretty cool. I have been teaching online since like 2009. And I've taught a lot of empty rooms, and unless the only time I had a bigger classroom was when I was actually teaching for an online school. But this was really cool that many people wanted to know about the astrology of 2022. So yeah, that's okay that you couldn't make it live. That's fine. I'll be getting that out tonight. I'm gonna take a nap first because I'm annoyed because my November slide got all buggered up and it was fine. So I don't know how it got messed up, but oh well. So if people want another live one, I'll offer it again. And anybody who took the first one can come in to the second one. So we can do it again too. So just because that stupid slide, but yeah. Hello from Argentina. Yeah. I had a wonderful Christmas. I did. Thank you, Marky. Wonderful. So I learned a long time ago to just keep it really relaxed. I don't do stressful holidays. The holidays when I was a kid were really, really stressful. And I kind of repatterned that when I had kids. But it only took a few years before I went, wait, I don't want my kids to feel about the holidays the way I do. I want them to enjoy it. I don't want them to be stressed out. And so we always keep it pretty low key. So it was really good. My daughter and son-in-law came over. I made a pizza, like homemade pizza. I make incredible pizza. But and we watched Matilda. That's what we did. We kept it really easy. So and that's the goal. Keeping it easy. You want to keep things really steady right now. Being really stressed out about stuff isn't going to help. So it's just like bring goose rubber. Bring it down. But yeah, low key. Keep it low key. You're so welcome, Dwabit. It was so good to see you today. Exactly. Yeah. That whole comparing, I've been thinking a lot, and I'm going to do maybe a YouTube video about this because I don't know how it'll go over on TikTok. It's kind of hard to give like meaty information. But I've been saying it in my live streams. Like when you beat yourself up, when you give yourself a hard time, when you think you're not good enough, when you're competing against impossible standards, you're literally doing the oppressor's job for them. Okay? The most radical thing we can do, okay, is love ourselves. Okay? Not because we're good at things, not because we have things, not because we made accomplishments, because that's it. There's no because. Just love yourself. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's hard because everything in the world has gotten us not to. The Saturn-Uranus square is putting pressure on us to bust free from a lot of those constraints in society. That's why things are just tumbling all around. And it's hard to hang on to those old things. And then with Venus retrograde conjunct Pluto in Capricorn, those old traditions, the standard values, those old family values, you know, the ones where you could beat your family and it was perfectly acceptable. Yeah, such values. A lot of these old family values need to get the fuck out. Long ago and far away, I hated Facebook before it was popular to hate Facebook. I never liked it. I was on because I had to be, because I worked for an online school. So how long will this last? I don't know what this you're talking about. As far as the systemic changes, quite a while. This particular energy, some of the intensity, basically we're going to go through different kinds of intensity, okay, for quite some time. We were all born for this time. And so, again, the most radical thing you can do is learn how to work with the energy instead of fighting against it, okay? Absolutely. There is a difference between stress and distress, and you're often able to influence what you experience. High five. Exactly. Learning how to be responsive. Learning how to be responsive versus reactive. And we can. And we will still be reactive. If you're tired, you're hungry, you're scared, you're worried, you're going to be reactive. So what? You're human. We react sometimes. Beating yourself up over that doesn't help either. We call that resisting the resistance. And so it's important in these times where it's a little bit crunchy. That's the word I keep using to describe it, because it is. It's crunchy. In order to move through these times, you got to be really gentle on yourself. Because when you're not, if you're complaining about the people who abused you or oppressed you, and you're beating yourself up, you're doing their job. And that is a hard type of momentum. It's like taking a big oil tanker and turning it on a 180 on an ocean, right? It's not easy to turn that sucker around, but you can do it. I know you can. I know you can. I've done it. I still work on it. If you guys saw, one day I will do blooper reels of my podcast. Okay, even though I don't edit it, I usually have a couple of false starts. And I caught myself today when I was doing the latest podcast episode. I said something wrong, and before I clicked, the stop button, I went, "Oh, stop it, dummy." And I was like, whoa, we don't talk to me that way. We do it. I was tired. So when we're not supporting ourselves, right? When we're not getting enough sleep, when we're not getting enough exercise, I'm not saying work out at the gym, taking a walk. I need to walk more, So these are all important things we can do to take care of ourselves. Because if you're not loving this and taking care of this, trying to get it from other places isn't going to fill any hole or void. I can guarantee you. So, yeah. Am I Italian? I had my DNA done, and I am 0.9% Sardinian. 0.9% Sardinian. That is such a specific kind of DNA. I don't even know which relative. It was so far back. So other than that, not a whole lot. Mostly Northwest European and Eastern European. So everywhere from Russia down through Romania, which we didn't know that either, and Ashkenazi as well, which we did not know as well. So those are all from way back. So I'm a lot of different things, and then Neanderthal. So your brother got Sardinian? How crazy. Well, it's just like a little bit. And I'm like, what little group of Sardinians? Had no clue. None. No clue. So I literally have more indigenous American than I do Sardinian, and I don't have very much of that. It's like 1.5 6%. So, and no, not a Cherokee princess. So, most likely, well, we know Northern California. We know what ancestor that one is. So, you knew about the Ashkenazi, yeah, great-grandfather. See, so was mine, but he was a defrocked Catholic priest who said he was Irish, and we know he was defrocked. So, talk about being shocked. I was like, wait, there's only one possibility, and it's the defrocked Irish Catholic priest? How'd that happen? So, don't know. He was born in 1865 on the East Coast, so he could have been an orphan. We don't really know a whole lot. One of my mom's cousins is figuring it out. Yeah, talk about, huh? And it couldn't have happened to a better side of the family, may I tell you. It delighted me. So, it is not the tolerant side of the family, let's put it that way. So, I have a whole lot of relatives I haven't talked to in about 20, 30 years. So, right? Did we block somebody? Yeah, a lot of different DNA. My kids are the world, so that's kind of cool. They have everything. I gave birth to world peace in my children, kind of. So, yeah. Hi. My makeup, I did it myself. I didn't even need a filter today. See? I'm practicing. I've been watching TikToks on makeup. It's not easy when you're blind in one eye. I'm like, how am I supposed to do this? I can't see on that side of my face. So I'm trying to do them really simple. Yeah. So, hey, how you doing? Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I've worked hard on it. So, well, I didn't work that hard, but I worked hard watching videos on it. So it's like, okay, watching it like I'm boosting views on this. I'm like, how did they do that again? How did they do that again? So again, it's not easy when you can't see. So, hey, Molly. Oh, code drop quick. Okay, everybody wants to pay attention to what Molly's doing. Molly's my code mod. She's going to drop the codes. Half off is for the 10-week birth chart class starting in January 11th, my great-grandma's birthday. I picked it on purpose. Hey. So if you haven't signed up for that, that's a 10-week class. It gets a private Discord. It's a live course. I record every single official class I do. So you'll have access to the recording. Save 20% on any reading. Oh, well done. Took a screenshot. Awesome. Yeah. Happy New Year. Onward and upward. Am I excited for Jupiter and Pisces? I'm probably one of the few astrologers not entirely happy about it. On an individual level, it's sheer magic if you know how to work with the energy. If you don't know how to work with the energy, it's going to be very overwhelming. I'll be offering a lot of content about that. We have a lot of newly awakened people who are just coming to terms that they are spiritual beings and, having a human experience and don't have a lot of skill to work with some of the intensity. You woke up just in time. It's fine. That's why you see a lot of older teachers coming up front and teaching. It's important. We survived a lot of crap to be here to teach. Okay. That's why I get emotional on my podcast. I sit there and I'm like, oh my God, all I had to do was live till now. It was hard enough to do that. Okay. What a climb. But it's such a beautiful opportunity to be in my purpose to teach and help you know how valuable you are and how necessary you are and that you matter. You matter so very much, so much more than you know. And you need to be gentle. You need to be gentle, with yourself. Forget about being nice to other people right now. Be nice to you, okay? Because it all starts there. We teach it backwards. We teach everybody to think about everybody else instead of having people be kind and gentle. You're never going to be egotistical and greedy and mean when you learn to be truly kind to yourself, because all this being nice to other people so you look nice, that's conditional. That's not unconditional love. That being afraid of being seen as a bad person, That's ego. Okay. That needing to look and appear good because less people think you're bad, or, what if people get to know the real me? I hope to hell you get to know the real me, because that's the better part of who I am. Okay. You need to feel like that about you. The most radical thing you can do over the next 5 years is love yourself and value yourself. And understand that you can set all the boundaries in the world. People do not have to listen to them. It's up to you to hold them and love yourself enough to stand in them. And what's funny is nature hates a vacuum. So as you let go, you have to be willing to receive that next step. A lot of times people let go and then they don't allow in that next bit. So boundaries, not barriers, okay? Boundaries, not barriers. So, and the more you love yourself, the more that opens, okay? So, and I know this time of year can be hard, and the universe is kicking our butts with the transits right now. We've got the Saturn-Uranus square, Venus and Pluto are conjunct. Everything is being twisted and churned and moved because we're growing. If you look back, and that's going to be most of my content from now till the end of the year, look back at who you were in the beginning of this year to who you are now, right? I think that's another t-shirt. I need a mod to remember that. Boundaries, not barriers. But yeah. When is the Saturn-Uranus square over? Well, it kind of works in through next year as well. But it's going to widen up, and we don't get the intensity of it till September, October. And it'll look, but it's going to be very different because we have a lot more going on in a different direction. So I did the seminar this morning. The seminar went great. I'll get the link out to everybody who registered, and then I'll get it up on Vimeo and make it available for streaming. I need to do some editing on it before I put it up on Vimeo, though. I'll send it out raw to all the participants. So you turned 40. The last 2 years have been intense growth. Yeah, because you're heading into that Uranus opposition. They're not kidding. Life does begin at 40. You go gunk, and then it's intense. And if you keep doing the work, you have a creative renaissance. And it's I'm not going to lie, it's bumpy. It's bumpy. I've been there. But literally the best birthday of my entire life, besides when I turned 5. When I turned 5 was pretty awesome. It was a very amazing birthday that I still remember. But other than my 5th birthday, 50. 50 was the absolute best birthday ever. And since I only got to use half of my 50th year of life, I will just remain 50 the rest of my life because it was such a great day. So, yeah. Which one? Oh, the 10-week class? It's a 10-week class. So it's 10 weeks. It's 3 months. Effectively. And I usually give bonus time. I probably end up being 12 weeks, knowing me. And we have study groups putting together. Yeah. There's all sorts of good stuff coming with that one. It's an intensive, and there's a lot of support. I don't just give you a video or something or teach a class and expect you to remember everything. It's very practical and hands-on. So, yeah. Yeah, 50 is good. But the reason it's good is because you do all that work getting there, So, no, I haven't. I'll do it later. I'll put it out tonight. We're still not even into evening completely yet where I'm at. So it'll come out tonight. I want to send something out with the video. So, and I haven't had a chance to write it up yet. So I want to give you guys, I want to send a correction on that stupid November slide so that you guys have the things going on. But yeah, that will come out. You need to watch your emails. So whatever email you use to sign up for the seminar, that's the email that's going to get it, because I'm going to send it out in the broadcast. So if you didn't get my broadcast, actually, those of you on here, did you get my broadcast today? Put a thumbs up in the chat. If you got my broadcasts that I sent out for the workshop, let me know. Because if you didn't, I need to know. Okay, so you got them. Okay, cool. Because I think sometimes when people sign up, they might accidentally put their email address in wrong or something. I do that. I've done that. You know, .con instead of .com. You know, you didn't get it? Okay. Yeah, because it'll come in through the emails. Make sure you check your spam folders. You can tell I was eating dumplings. I smeared my lipstick. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Chris is my email person. So NM Delarocco is Chris. She's my email queen. So you might have put in the wrong email. Yeah, that happens. You're turning it from a salt bath. I love salt baths. Yay, Casey's tuning in with some self-care. And that's perfect. Epsom salt baths are perfect during the Saturn-Uranus square, actually. I may do one tonight. We'll see. We'll see if I face plant on the couch first. Because I can tell you, I'm going to need a nap. I already need a nap because I only got a nap before I taught. But I will say it was such a beautiful, beautiful experience to have so many people there. That was so cool. Again, I've taught other classes lots of times, but to teach the things I'm most passionate about and talk about the things I'm most passionate about and have that many people show up, that's crazy cool. That is just the neatest thing. So I'm very excited, and it really encourages me to get that mystery school running in 2022. I almost thought I was going to have to give up on it a while back in 2019. I was like, maybe I'm wrong about it. I'm a really accurate astrologer. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope, I wasn't wrong. It's just, we live in the future so much as astrologers that sometimes it's like, oh, not yet. Hey, Rita. So big shout outs to all of my mods who are absolutely freaking amazing. I wouldn't be able to do what I do. They've got me, like, they manage chat today. They manage chat here. For those of you who are new or just joining, I'm visually impaired. It's hard for me to read the moving comments or keep up with chat and try to present. It's nearly impossible. And so my mods make everything so much easier. Yeah, thank you to the mods. Yeah, they are so helpful in Discord, you know, because I'm often busy reading. I'm honestly not even getting to create the content I want to create because I'm busy really getting people ready, you know. And so I've got a pause in January where I'll be doing a lot of content, getting a lot of things created, getting the mystery school set up. And the mods, love them. Love them. They make my life so much easier. You're just a joy, all of you. Yeah, Chris, you saved me. And having people who are reliable, and man, that is everything. So especially when you're pulling a lot. So yeah, and Rita is helping me do a lot of the mystery school stuff. Casey's helping me get my writing done. I'm working on ideas for that. She's a great student. Rita's helping with the artwork. So we're building quite a good team, and I'll be tapping more shoulders in the Patreon as we move forward. I kind of just want to finish up 2021. See, I've been living in the future. But just 2021, because that's really what this energy is about. It's just kind of pulling it back. Originally, I was thinking about launching, because we use these words, launch. I don't really feel like launching a mystery school. Here, we're going to launch it now. But opening in January. But then I was like, no, I'm not going to be ready. And that's just going to be stressful, because then it's going to be half-assed. And I don't want to half-ass it. This is my life's work. You know, I'm like, no, neither am I going to over perfectionist it, but there's some things I want to get our Cosmic Surfers in there. I want to get Living by Luna in there. These are Patreon tiers. Get them set in. And then I'm going to have some very beginning courses as well that'll be open to all of my patrons. I was thinking I have old material that is not specifically astrological. It's based in astrology, you know, that's its foundation, and metaphysics, but it's about knowing what you want. And I thought what I'd do is I'd go edit some of the bits that aren't relevant, like my former name. That's why I can't use a lot of it. I have like hundreds of hours of material. And I was like, well, I'm not that person anymore. I'm back to being me. I have my maiden name. So I have to cut that. And then what I'll do is I'll do little intros. So I've got about 4 days where I can work on content. In January, I should have booked off more time. And then I was like, oh, I got booked up. Oh, I did that. Because I have to have everything, you know, I need the classes ready to go. So, hi, how are you? So, hey, Becky. So yeah, so it was a great seminar. I'm not gonna lie, 2022 has some really interesting astrology, and it's something else. So, and again, it's magical on a whole lot of levels. On an esoteric level, I'm very, very excited about it. On a metaphysical level, very, very excited about it. On a mundane mass consciousness level, not so excited about it. So it's important. I will be making updates, and as we get closer, I'll run some other workshops. Like I'll do an entire workshop on the US Pluto return, or what people are calling the US Pluto return, and I will prove and show why it is not the US as a country's Pluto return, but rather the revolution's return, and what the actual return will look like 9 years from next year. So we're in a process of change and expansion and evolution. And sometimes that's gritty, you know, but we didn't just become a country in 1776. We had to work for it. There was a 9-year war, and they don't teach it that way in school. They're like, oh, we sent them a piece of paper and they were like, okay. Except then we studied about, you know, Cornwallis and stuff like that. But so, yeah. It's important, if you're an actual astrologer, studying actual history and understanding the timing and cycles of events is essential. You can't just go off what you learned in elementary school and call it history, or even in high school. I know what they still teach in high schools today, and it's almost worse than when I was in school. It's when my daughter was in an AP history class, and she had to do a paper, and she handed me the book to read through it. And I went into the school the next day and collared her history teacher and went, where the hell did you get this textbook? It was like reading a novel. It was full of opinion. It wasn't facts. It wasn't written academically. It was opinion. And they also called the Bay of Pigs a misunderstanding. And I was like, oh, Bay of Pigs was a little bit more than a misunderstanding. I was like, I lost it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it was indoctrination when we were in school. I talked about that on the podcast, about calling my U.S. history, or global studies, sorry, my AP global studies teacher out. It was pretty funny. He wasn't amused, but he was busy indoctrinating us. And I was like, because he was like, oh, the Soviets, they tell their children how evil and awful we are. And I was like, sir, isn't that what you're doing right now? He did not appreciate my commentary. I did not care. I was like, dude, you're doing the same thing. So, yeah. Hey, Brandy, big hugs. Oh, yeah, I talked about it in my last podcast, the one before this one. I didn't say, I said they go towards conspiracies or other beliefs because they're used to being controlled and they're used to having like dominating theologies around them. And there's also, so they don't trust society. They don't trust, authority, and it's hard to know who to trust. But they're also used to having an outside agency. So that's where you get like, people will go from one form of deity worship to another form of deity worship, the seekers, because instead of unpacking and taking agency, it's always easier to say, oh, give it up to something else, I get my power from this thing, and so that's one of the reasons. So, it's easy to land in conspiracy land, especially when our authorities don't have our best interests at heart 90% of the time. So sifting out, but I would say any ideology, and I would say any, because remember, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I think the parties are ridiculous. Any of them that would have you name call. Any of them, so that whole, they're sheep, and you hear it on both sides. You do. You can hold people accountable without having cognitive bias. You can just say, to me, it's a shame that people are making a big deal out of a mask. I may not agree with people who don't believe, vaccines are a good thing. I can understand suspicion because the messaging was terrible. But masks, it's a piece of cloth. It's not that big a deal. It's really not that big a deal, and some of the bullshit excuses, freedom. And I am a colonizer, okay? I am from colonists, all right? They did awful things, but they also didn't fight a revolution because they didn't want to wear masks. They did it because on my end, they didn't want to be religiously persecuted. And they mostly kept to themselves. They still did shitty things, okay? But they didn't fight because of masks. Wearing a mask does not impinge your freedom, okay? I wear a bra. That impinges your freedom, okay? Unless you're being forced to wear a jock strap 24/7, that mask ain't nothing. Okay? Just saying. All right? Just saying. That I don't understand. It's that digging the heels in. Okay? That part I don't get. And that's kind of how you could tell. And it's like, you're holding on to, I don't even believe in like being all excited about the flag. It was a maritime symbol. It wasn't used in indoctrination in the United States until the 1950s, by the way. It was something people were like, oh, okay, that's how we identify our ships at sea. Go team. To, it's a sacred object. And we didn't think that way in the 1800s, by the way. So, yeah. Well, so far nobody's been forced. It's still a choice. If you have conditions of employment, it's still a choice. It's not a force. So there's lots of things that, and at the same time, isn't it funny, the argument of nobody should force it on you, but they're regulating women's bodies like hell right now. The hypocrisy kind of gets me about picking and choosing what we're going to regulate. So the only thing I can say is that if you're infectious, then knowingly, and you go into a public place, you should be then put up on charges for reckless endangerment, because we know this can kill people or severely injure them. And I don't understand why those laws that already exist on the books. You can't run around with TB knowingly, or AIDS knowingly. There's not knowingly, but if you knowingly do it, then you need to be held accountable. So yeah, that's kind of it, is the hypocrisy. I don't want to spread it and I don't want to get it. I live a fairly hermetic life. Just keep pulling that hermit card. So, and I live in an area where people just refuse. And to me, it's the lack of like, why is it such a big deal that you can't wear it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Across the board. I think, they were preemptively overly optimistic when they messaged about vaccines. I think they were too adamant without all the information. I think, I'm going to say, every which way there's been shitty information. However, we have multiple things going on at this time, and we need to have whatever layer you can to do the best you can to protect yourself and your family and your loved ones and your community around you. The sixth house in astrology is where we start leaving our consciousness of me and mine and start seeing outside of ourselves. It's work, health, and service. And that's because I work with other people. This is how I make my daily bread. My interactions with other people have repercussions. And if somebody gets sick, I can get sick. If I get sick, I can make them sick. That's why the sixth house, it's ruled by Virgo. Virgo is what? The healer. Virgo is the healer. Okay? And it is the true compassion. True compassion. Because you have to be able to detach and assess in order to heal. And even if somebody's crying and screaming, and the most compassionate thing you can do if you have the skills to heal is then to detach and not be with them, okay? Not be with them in that screaming and crying, but then to detach and take care of the wound. So learning astrology and the symbolism, you have to, we work in metaphor. And that's one of the mistakes. Like when people read Nostradamus or they read William Lilly, another great astrologer who wrote in the 1600s, people try to read it literally, and you can't. It's metaphor. It's trying to describe tonal qualities and energy qualities. I do the same thing. I use metaphor all the time. I'm just trying to use the most usable metaphor at the time, which is exactly what they were doing. And, 500 years from now, if somebody found my writing, they'd be like, what does it mean that it was crunchy? What crunchy? What does crunchy mean? It was crunchy. It was crunchy. She said crunchy a lot. It must have been a name of a creature. 500 years from now, they may not know what I mean by crunchy. You guys know what I mean by crunchy. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. So, right? Ninth house Virgo stellium, you're still trying to figure out. Well, yeah. I would drop the emphasis of the stellium. I think people make way too much out of it. And I would just understand that the ninth house is expanding experiences and understandings and learning and teaching. And so learning about yourself is something that you would be working on and expanding constantly. So, yeah. Right? I think stress when I hear it's crunchy, right? You like crunchy food? That's kind of what I mean. Oh, yeah. See, Becky was like, I didn't know what crunchy meant. I had to catch up on it. Yeah. Crunchy is just a word I use where it's textural, where it is a little stressful. You feel gritty, you feel stress, you feel pressure. There's a pressure in this crunch. It's crispy. It's not smooth. It's not ease. It's crunch. So a little overcooked. Well, it is resistance, but it's not. It's a little different. Resistance can be categorized in many different layers, and it's a big word that often has a lot of baggage to it. Resistance, love, truth, all of those words have a lot hanging off of them. And so crunchy is, yes, it's some type of, it can be like if you guys do foam rolling, that the crunches in your back when you're popping your back, that could be it too. But yeah, like rapids on a river resistance. Absolutely. As you know, there's so many layers, but it's like that. Absolutely. Yeah. So, and that's kind of what we're doing with the Saturn Uranus square. It is crunchy, and the moon is in Libra. So, and I can't see what degree it's at right now because my app's on my phone and I'm talking to you all. And just so you know, I'm not going to be on super late today because I literally need to faceplant and take a nap, and then I'll write the horoscopes. But my eyes are so shut. I don't even think using my TV as a monitor right now would help. But yeah. Thank you. That is actually what my teacher had me focus on. My very first teacher and mentor was communicating the horoscope, because he was like, when I look at your chart, all I see is like communication central. You need to focus on interpretation. And I was like, okay, I didn't know any different. And then I found out how most people learn is so calculation based. And I'm like, yeah, calculations are important. It is. Getting the math right is so important. But interpretation, if you can't use the knowledge, what's the point? You know, just like when you go, like, I tested this out when I used to go to astrology conferences. People would be talking the shorthand. Oh yeah, my moon is here and it's squaring this, and these transits, you know, like the nodes, man. And I'd be like, and how did it affect you? Well, you know, that square. Yeah, but how did the square feel? What did it do? What was going on in your life? They had a hard time expressing it because they were so used to only speaking in the astrologicalese and using all the short. They didn't know how to apply it. And I'm like, okay, you keep saying the word square and I'm assuming you mean a bad thing, but some of the most talented artists I've ever met have a shitload of squares. So it's creative too. What did you make? What did you do? Who'd you become through the stress? You know, and again, I'm going to wager that you started in one place in 2021 and you are in a very different place at the end of 2021, and it's not for the worst. Not really. I bet you know who you are in a very different way. Absolutely. Jargon is totally not useful if it's not applied, Brandy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah. Yeah. Oh, I have a question. Here, hang on. New into tarot. Any tips? If you're new into tarot, study the cards. Study the cards. That's the best thing you can do. Tarot was my gateway drug. I got my first tarot deck when I was 18. So just study the cards. Study what they mean. You know, so. Oh, good. I'm glad you referred them to Dwabit. Good. That's because you're cool, Magic. I'm so glad you're okay. And Pumpkin is okay too. I'm glad you got evacuated out. I'm glad you got out. So, I know those kids, Malcolm. What's going on, buddy? Right, you're so sleepy today. Malcolm's very sleepy today. He's normally not this sleepy, but he's very sleepy. Come here, buddy. Come on. I know you're so sleepy. Come on. Up on my lap. Oh my God, you're so tired you cannot even get on my lap. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting on the floor, dude. Oh, what's going on? You doing okay? Yeah. Yeah. So this is Mel. If you guys are new here, this is my dog, Malcolm. He's the cutest. His whole job is to be cute. Oh, he started barking too. Oh, that's funny. You doing okay? Yeah. The kids are, you know, on break and it's the weekend, so he's going to bark. So he is totally adorable. He won me over the first minute I laid eyes on him. I didn't even have to think about it. She's been sleeping late. He's a Taurus too. I think it's the square. We just need to rest, huh? We just need to rest. Are we worn out? We're worn out. He was very happy to see my daughter yesterday. He was like, hey sis, I'll just lay down next to you. He is the king of comfort and cuteness. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, you're the king of comfort and sweetness. I'm super sleepy today. I am too, though. We've been running a lot of energy over the last 2 weeks, so there's some of that too. So there was a lot going on energetically. And I'll be teaching more on the metaphysical and energy side of things as well. So understanding what some of the initiatory processes are, and some of the skills we can use to navigate it. And one of the things is I honestly don't care what you believe or who you worship or how you worship or if you worship. Care that you do it from an authentic space for you. Everybody has their own path, their own journey. And so what I want you to be able to do is learn how to discern your path. You know, I can help you with astrology readings, absolutely. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what I say. You need to know it firmly within your own self. And what I say might help. We might be in a co-creative. Oh, I forgot. I have to keep scratching. Sorry. If I stop the nails, it's a problem. Do we need the chest scratch? Oh, the chest is itchy. But I'm so tired. And he's so comfy. It's like having a teddy bear. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of crunchy going on. Absolutely. I'm doing good. How are you? Hey, how you doing? It is the only purpose of the nails. In fact, when I lived with my daughter and son-in-law, there's 8 dogs there, including Malcolm. And they would know when I went to the salon. Butts would be ready. I would have 2 Rottweilers backing up. They just literally back right up. Okay, you've been to the salon, butt scratches. They're the big babies, though. I had to be more careful of the Cocker Spaniel because she would come with her big paws and get me. But yeah. It has been very busy. What? Oh, Mr. Dignified. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Brock, the male, he's same age as Mal, he's 8. But when he was 5, the VA let him come in to see my son-in-law's dad. Even though he's not a service dog, he didn't have any of the certificate. They let him in because he's so good. He's so good. And he made so many people's day because he's so well behaved. He certainly passed, you know. They inspected and made sure, but he's so gentle. He's a big guy, but he's gentle and loving. Really easy. But, you know, they spent a lot of time with him as a puppy, too. So, oh, Malcolm. It's just that kind of day. Malcolm says it's a little crunchy. He's feeling a little crunchy today. How's your nose? Your nose is a little dry. Are you feeling not so good? Or are you just tired? It's been a hard couple weeks. Yeah. He's such a good boy. Are you such a good boy? You're mommy's baby. Hmm? Yeah. I know. I could just make a Malcolm channel where I just scratch his ears all day long. Right? Yeah. They all say, hi, Malcolm. He's like, either you have nails or food. Either one. Oh, you're so good. I am fading out as well. And Magic, you need to go to sleep, honey. You have had a wild time. Get your rest. Rest up. And I am too. My alarm's going to go off here in just a minute. You would all be watching. I know. Oh, he just flopped. Hang on, I got to show you this. He just flopped. Forecast for Patreon. I want to thank every single one of you who joined Patreon, whether you're a patron now or not. I know things change or you get sick of it or whatever. we reached over 300 today, and that's the first time that we've hit the 300 benchmark. I am so honored, and it means the world to me. So thank you very much, and thank you for all of your support. So thank you very, very much. Malcolm says thank you too. Say thank you. Thank you. He's like, I don't want to say thank you. Keep the scratching going. Here, like that. You need to belly scratch. The chest. Yeah. So, love you guys. Love you too, Lisa. Yeah, it's super exciting. So, onwards and upwards, mystery school, here we come. And I will get those. I'll get the Libra stuff written tonight, but I need to sleep first. I don't think I can go much longer without it. I can barely keep my eyes open. But, and again, tonight I'll get out it'll probably be around midnight my time if I sleep now, or early hours of the morning. But I will get the link out for the seminar to everybody, and then I will write the forecasts. But yeah, happy sleeping. Thank you. Love you guys. Take care. Remember, love yourselves. Oh, come on. Bye. I'm going to sleep.